Buckle up, boys, because we're going on a fucking adventure. What's up, fam of liberty, and also everyone else who's watching this video who isn't following our channel for some unknown, mystifying, stupefying reason. It's your boy, Big Sarge, or the artist formerly known as Admin Tim. I am the founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization that has been steadily enraging MAGA fuckface ass clowns since 2015, shitposting memes, and more recently, a small handful of super woke leftists who thought that I was just doing another bullfuckery too. If you saw us out in the streets at a protest for the first time or you're new to our channel, I know what you might be thinking, what with the beard and the vet bro look and everything. So let me just go ahead and get this out of the way. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck GOP politicians, fuck limp dick establishment Democrat politicians that are not out there in these streets fighting for us tooth and nail. And also, fuck all you billionaires, you wealth hoarding motherfuckers. You have your fucking boots on the neck of just about every American citizen. Yes, I say fuck a lot. Fuck, 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 fuck. Neither this fucking channel nor its fucking comment sections are a fucking safe space for fucking bootlicking simps for a Russian asset, convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, wish.com fascist oligarch, failed insurrectionist, wannabe authoritarian tyrant, a self-confessed lover of very young women, and a guy who was also friends for over a decade with a convicted PDF file. Same fucking person, Donald Trump. Now you know where I stand on things, so if you are still here and you're not frantically rage typing into the comments box like a triggered snowflake conservative who's simping for PDF files and only gets outraged about PDF files when you think that it's only liberals involved in the PDF files, then maybe you should consider following this channel after you watch this video and my other content and deciding whether or not you like the cut of my jib. And let me categorically state up front, I, Admin Tim, aka Big Sarge, aka the Professional Scotsman, am of sound mind, body, spirit, and soul. I am in good health, high morale, cheerful spirits, and the fucking sunniest of dispositions. I am not at all suicidal, so if I end up dead, y'all motherfuckers who subscribe to this channel better mobilize and tear the fucking place down because some hinky shit has gone on. Up front, in this video, there is going to be a call to action. No, I am not going to put a timestamp on where it is so you can skip around to it. You'll know it when you hear it. It'll be about as obvious as Trump in a room full of underage girls. Up front, also up front, I just figured out how to make discount codes for the SOL merch store. So if you've previously ordered merch, you've favorited merch, or you've put it in your cart but you didn't check out, you're probably going to receive an email with a discount code. And not just only because I just figured out how to make discount codes, but also because Epstein is in the news just like Trump is in the Epstein Files. I've created a unique 15% off code for the merch store, running for exactly 1 week from today for orders over $20. That code is, I shit you not, Epstein. I don't give a fuck if anybody unsubscribes because I'm hawking merch right at the beginning. I don't care. I am so happy that I figured out how to do coupon codes for Etsy. The first one that I was like, it's definitely got to be Epstein because why not? Anyway, I'm not monetized, and this is not the call to action. It's going to be later. The American government has been co-opted by rich conservative oligarchs who gain power and leverage over the politicians that you allegedly elected. These filthy rich wealth hoarders don't care about you. You will never be one of them. They aren't going to give you money. They aren't going to fuck you. I mean, they're going to fuck you, but not the way you want. And you only exist to them to make them more money. These people and the politicians that they have purchased don't look out for ordinary Americans like me and you. And all you MAGA bootlickers out there who spent 2016 to 2024 talking about save our children. These same politicians that don't care about you also don't care about your children except to diddle them or to scare them into silence because their friend diddles kitties. And by friend, I mean anybody on the Epstein client list. And before you get in my fucking comments, no, I don't care if they're Democrats or Republicans who are in the Epstein Files. I'll talk about that a little later. Yesterday, Wednesday, July 23rd, there are two major events that happened in the Epstein Files cover-up. First and foremost, Democrats finally successfully goaded Republicans into taking action. The House Oversight Committee, which is run by a Republican majority, voted 8-2 to subpoena both the Epstein Files and to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell for testimony before the committee, provided they don't unalive her. Now, secondly, the Wall Street Journal blew the fucking lid off the ongoing Epstein cover-up with an absolutely explosive report that details just how much fucking work the FBI has put into an emergency examination of the Epstein Files. Back in March, after AG Pam Bondi said that she had the files on her desk, and just how badly the Trump administration is now terrified of anything getting out about this. We also know that she personally told Trump back in May that his name was in the Epstein Files quite a lot, which he already knew, and which the rest of America already knew because Epstein's little black book had already previously been released. And we'd seen Epstein flight logs, we'd seen Epstein's secretary's phone call logbook, and call memos. This isn't anything new, except to the MAGA fuckface ass clown, mouth-breathing oxygen thief dipshits who intentionally bury their head in the sand and stick their fingers in their ears and scream la 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 whenever anyone says something remotely bad about their sweet potato Hitler. You know, kind of like how the GOP does the same thing. It's like everyone in MAGA land is engaged in a cover-up. Like, deep down, they all know it, but having to admit it would absolutely shatter their entire psyche. I like that word. I'm going to use it again later. I'm absolutely the last person who will prop up a conspiracy theory. I have multiple videos on this channel and a much, much, much lengthier history on the Sons of Liberty Facebook and Instagram page mocking right-wing cultist bullshit, QAnon bullshit, and what I call Blue Anon conspiracy theories. But I think that this is a conspiracy, not just a theory. Trump is doing everything that a narcissistic sociopath would do to deflect attention, up to and including gaslighting. You know what he's not doing? Being transparent. The very first thing that I would do if I were president and somebody said I was covering up a conspiracy is the first thing that I would do is I would release the goddamn files, and I don't care about the legality. And if you were in my political party, well, tough shit, motherfucker. You're on your own, you nasty sumbitch. And yet that is not what is actually happening. Why? Because Trump is either the dumbest, most incompetent fucking moron, or he's guilty as motherfuck. I mean, I guess he could probably be both. He's both. What's going on is that Trump is trying his damnedest to wag the dog with whatever he can fabricate. He almost started a war with Iran. He's accused former presidents of treason, which is wild considering he led an insurrection and had his lobbyists pay off conservative judges to say that anything a president does whilst in office is legal. He's making the wildest accusations about everyone and accusing everyone of disloyalty and claiming that this whole Epstein Files thing is a hoax. And the gropey old pedophiles, the GOP, are of course trying to help cover it up like the good little bootlickers that they are. Have you ever heard the phrase blowing smoke up someone's arse or smoke and mirrors? What's funny about smoke is that where there's smoke, there's fire. Another saying. Trump spent years making a big fucking deal pushing Epstein conspiracy theories and claiming that there was good stuff in the Epstein Files, and because 21st century politics are hyper-partisan, of course his QAnon and MAGA cultist bases figured out, oh, well, it has to be creepy Joe Biden and Bill Clinton and Tom Hanks and the liberal elites, right? That is the difference between the MAGA cult and also the GOP and then everyone else on the left. MAGA can cry all it wants about every Democrat that they hate being in the Epstein Files, but the second that you mention a Republican, they're like, oh, no, that's fake news. We must protect this person at all costs, but also save our children. Just only save them from the liberals and the transgenders. But over here on the left, we catch a PDF file and we're like, this motherfucker is done. Throw the whole book at them, then beat them half to death with it, then throw them under the jail and throw away the key. Accountability. It's a word, MAGA. I tell you to look it up, but y'all ignorant motherfuckers don't read books. You burn them. So almost a week ago, Democrat Senator Dick Durbin, it sounds like a comic book character from the 50s. I'm Dick Durbin. I am super senator. Senator Dick Durbin drops an official letter that got sent to Trump's head of the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi. In this letter, he basically says, I have information, a lot of information, from people in the FBI and DOJ. So actually, first, remember I said I don't buy into conspiracy theories? You want to know how I know that conspiracy cover-up theories are horseshit? Because the sheer amount of people working in government to do black bag shit, plain and simple, there's too many fucking people. First of all, if you've ever been in any kind of project manager or senior management position, then you know that there's a ton of people that can't keep their mouths shut, even if you sign an NDA. An NDA doesn't mean shit when you can write an anonymous letter, stick it in an envelope, and mail it to the press. Or you can go the route that my friend Jessica Denson did, where she basically said, this NDA sucks balls and you can go fuck yourself, challenge it in court, and then be free to do what you want. Now, on the internet, where I can fire up a VPN and create a bogus email address, it's even easier to be a whistleblower. And then second of all, I was in the military. On the second that we got any kind of warning from command that we were going on a field exercise or training deployment or real life deployment, every fucking dependa and girlfriend and stripper knew it because people talk, even when they aren't supposed to. And when the Trump administration has spent years vilifying the FBI, maligning its agents, undercutting its authority, retasking its people with inhumane human trafficking, and that's what it is. It's not deportation, it's human trafficking. It's human trafficking people to taxpayer-funded concentration camps. When Trump World spent years tearing down the FBI and then putting Kash fucking Patel, of all people, in charge of it. Oh, and to add insult to injury, putting a deplatformed YouTuber in as his second in command. Like, if you want to piss off a group of trained professionals, put them under the control of a nepotism, buddy billet DEI hire who doesn't do a goddamn thing with his job position except abuse the privileges and perks to further enrich himself and treat it like it's his fucking personal valet and chauffeur service. And then, after doing all of this, ask them to work 24 and 48-hour rotating shifts for weeks on end. 1,000 of them to go flagging images of Donald Trump in the Epstein Files. 1,000 pissed off FBI agents, like angry dwarfs, the D&D kind, with an axe to grind and a book of grudges. Diggy, diggy hole, y'all. Anyway, 1,000 pissed off FBI agents with a severely depleted morale and loyalty score, forcing them to tear through the Epstein Files looking for the name of the most hated man in America at the same time that they're literally reading the Epstein Files and seeing all the shady, sordid, sick, nasty PDF files and expecting them not to leak anything. You're fucking fooling yourself. Add to that the fact that you've got 1,000 FBI employees who aren't field agents, but rather these are number-crunching desk jockeys, no offense, analysts and data dorks. Technically, no offense, but it's funny. And yes, they're employed by the FBI, but that doesn't mean that they're all carrying guns, secret squirrel operator types. Like, look, I was in the Army, and so was Chelsea Manning and a lot of other people. We all go through similar basic training, but what happens after that is determined by what job you chose to do. Combat armed soldiers go do more combat training. I'm a tanker, and I'm doing tank stuff. I'm gonna drive my tread. Oh, shit, the tread broke. Fuck. Yeah, I'm a Cav Scout. 19 deaths, baby. If you ain't Cav, you ain't. Dicks out for Harambe, motherfucker. Woo! I'm an operator. Whereas combat support, like military intelligence, and combat service support, they go do job training stuff. So when you join the military and your job is like a gymnasium support specialist in the Air Force or a cook in the Army or an X-ray technician in the Navy, you're serving your country, but that doesn't mean that you're going to see combat. So imagine being an IT support specialist who's working an office job and then suddenly you're called up and told, okay, private, you're going to leave your air-conditioned office and you're going to come down to this tent in the hot sun and I need you to go through all these dead bodies. What? Don't look at me like that, private. You're a soldier in the United States Army. Get up and do what I tell you. Now make that scenario into a civilian scenario. You've got 1,000 of these office guys who are office Joes, but work for the U.S. government, specifically the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And your senior management has been telling you that you're all a bunch of shitbag traitors. Oh, but suddenly we need you dudes to get up and go look at these Epstein files to make sure that Trump's not in there. In the middle of searching for the words Donald Trump in roughly 300,000 pages of documents, looking for the guy who hates you and therefore has made you hate him. All these FBI employees are suddenly exposed to the full force of unredacted, uncensored sex crimes against minor-aged children. Detailed statements and interviews and depositions, photographs, videos, and all. You have to read all of it, look at all of it, and find Donald Trump. And you can't not do it because you have to make sure that he's in there or he's not in there. What kind of fucking toll is that going to take on the souls and psyches, I use that word again, of men and women who were never, ever prepared for that kind of a thing? On top of all that, these files weren't on a secure classified server. They were hastily thrown up on a drive that anybody in the FBI could access. Trump World, I gotta ask, do y'all seriously think these disgruntled people being exposed to unimaginable horrors aren't going to blow the whistle? So Senator Durbin basically says to AG Pam Bondi, look bitch, you're a fucking liar and I know it. You know that I know it because here's what I've got on you. And he's been taking notes. He straight up says, and I quote, with relish, despite tens of thousands of personnel hours reviewing and re-reviewing these Epstein-related records over the course of 2 weeks in March, it took DOJ more than 3 additional months to officially find there is no incriminating client list, and the memorandum with this finding includes no mention of the whistleblower or additional documents, the existence of which Attorney General Bondi publicly claimed on February 27th. Bam, mic drop, guy had receipts. Now, suddenly, Democrats are rejuvenated. This is one thing that they can seize upon, and so, like a boss, Representative Ro Khanna is working with Republicans like Tom Massey, a longtime foil for Donald Trump. The two have been sponsoring legislation to force Republicans to release the Epstein Files and have tried pushing it into every bit of legislation, so much so that Republicans have decided to take an early break from already not doing their jobs and go into early recess. That's how you know there is a cover-up. We already knew that because Republicans would bend the knee to whatever Trump says, because Republicans have no balls and they have no spine unless it's bombing third world countries or supporting other countries that bomb third world countries, you know, like Israel. So Republicans locking arms in lockstep and putting themselves between an enraged American public and the one guy who cries harder than every cry hard Trolly McTrollington in my comment sections put together. Republicans protecting that guy is no surprise. So then the Trump administration is like, hey, that James Comey guy that we hate, the FBI guy, his daughter Maureen she was the lead prosecutor on Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein cases. Oh, she still works for the government? Fire her. Now, coincidentally, the Trump administration is ready to cut a deal with Ghislaine, who's one of the few Epstein associates who hasn't disappeared, been unalive, or mysteriously died, mysteriously committed suicide. They're going to try and pardon Ghislaine Maxwell in exchange for her silence on Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Mark my words. Why haven't Republicans released the Epstein Files to the American people? It's reasonable to conclude that Republicans are continuing to protect the lifestyles of the rich and shameless, even if that includes PDF files. So here is your call to action. Regardless of who your senators and House reps are, you need to call them today. Call their office, demand that they support the release of the Epstein Files, and also tell them that if they don't support that, then they support and protect pedophiles. That is your mission. Meanwhile, the Democrats finally have successfully goaded Republicans into voting to subpoena the Department of Justice for the Epstein Files. This is after right-wing religious zealot Speaker of the House Mike Johnson sent House reps home a day early to try and avoid having to take action. And then this past Tuesday, Speaker Johnson said there was no need to vote on Ro Khanna's and Thomas Massey's latest piece of legislation calling for the release of the Epstein Files this week, because Speaker Johnson says, rather unconvincingly, that he doesn't see a need because the Trump administration is already doing everything within their power to release them. Okay, bro, why don't you go swipe right on Grindr again with your son? You have that shared porn accountability weird shit. This dude is in the fucking Epstein Files, I bet. The House Oversight Committee, which is run by a Republican majority, voted 8-2 to subpoena both the Epstein Files and to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell for testimony before the committee. I mentioned that before. One of the no votes was MAGA cultist Representative Clay Higgins from Louisiana, who is hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt due to unpaid child support. Before becoming a House rep, back in 2015, Clay Higgins made these Crime Stopper videos for the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office. I don't know if you remember them. I do. And personally, I thought they were fucking hilarious. He's tough talking swagger shit, kind of like I do, except I'm fucking for real and he's a deadbeat. Anyway, the ACLU saw these videos and was like, oh, you can't do that. So Clay Higgins basically said, fuck this shit, I'm out. Anyway, now he's MAGA, so fuck him. Go visit your kids and pay some child support, you motherfucker. That is my time for today. I'm skipping my usual ending spiel about Sons of Liberty merch and the organization and Discord and our social media. Big Sarge out here. 2 claps and a Rick. Join or die. One team, one fight. It's us against the fucking pedophiles, basically MAGA. Woo!
And now it's time for the Throatpunch!
Diggy hole, y'all. It's 2015, shitposting memes, and more recently, a small handful of super woke leftists who just thought that I was going to ignore them because, oh, we're on the same side. No, we're not. And I explained in my clapback video why I said what I said about super woke leftists. I don't hate all super woke leftists. It's just there's a small amount of you that are so woke you need to go take a fucking nap. And then there's the one guy who's arguing with me who's like, if you use the term woke like a pejorative and you don't like wokeness, then you're a MAGA racist that just doesn't wear the hat. Really? Come on. You can do better than everything I don't like is racist, bro. Come on. Come at me with something different. You know as well as I do, I'm digressing. There's a small amount of people in every fucking category that exists, whether it's fucking anime fans, the weeaboos, whatever the fuck you call them, music lovers, you got the gatekeepers of nerd culture, and in politics, you've got fringe lunatics on either side of the spectrum, and they piss you off. That is what I'm talking about, and if that makes you mad, hashtag not sorry, not sorry. Get fucked and die mad about it. Admin Tim316. I just said that whole thing in reverse. Whatever. Aged American public, and the one guy who cries harder, the one guy